You'll find out why. Okay, and here we go. I will sometimes do the whole body with this, just to give it a weathery, dusty, been sitting for a while look. It'll change this green, it'll tone it down a little bit, not make it look so wild. And again, I'm basically doing the same thing I did with the terracotta. I'm just rubbing this around, trying not to get any streaks. If you get your brush dry enough, you won't get streaks. That time was a little too wet. You can see the difference where I went over with that opposed to that. It just tones it down and makes it look a little more weathered, even though you really didn't do anything to it except went over it with this color. You can use, like I keep saying, you can use different shades, different colors, but this teddy bear tan, from what I've seen and used, works the best for this final step. I've had other guys tell me I can't find it, so I bought such and such, and it just doesn't work. It may work okay for them, it doesn't work okay for me. Alright, aside from adding a few little detail strips and streaks, the roof part's done. I don't know if, John, do we want to take the time to do the whole body? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yay, nay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to clean that brush off. And I'm going to go to a different brush.
I guess shows like streaks and stuff, how you're doing that.
Shows streaks?
Like the marks and stuff. On some, like on the side.
Yeah.
Sides and back.
I'm getting ready to do some of them. Excuse me. Okay, now, on the roof here, you've obviously got your drip rail, which is going to collect water and is going to rust because it's water sitting there. Ain't enough on there. Just, little things to notice, keep in mind when you're looking at vehicles. Now, another thing I'll do is run that down there. Most people, when they're around their vehicle handling it, they will put their hands right up here a lot. So I'm going to make a little bit there, and I'll also show you where I can make this look like it's rubbed through to like a primer color. The way I do that is I'll put the brown on first, and I'll get a gray, like a primer gray, and just outline that. Okay, another thing, tops of the doors. People are constantly grabbing the tops of the doors. So we're going to put some rust up there because that paint's been worn away. This is where you can get creative with a small brush. You can kind of give it a personality, an identity, so to speak. I plan on putting a mirror on here, so I am going to put some little area there that has rust. Go across the top of that window a little bit. Also, around your window openings. You know, that's another way guys grab their doors and open them, or when they're driving them, their arms are hanging out and they will wear the paint off. But that's a good place where water collects, the bottom of windows. So that's why I'm putting this down there. Another thing that it will do, this doesn't have doorknobs, it's been shaved. If it had a door handle here, I would run a little streak, one longer than the other, from each end of the doorknob. This one doesn't have them, but we can do something similar. At the edge of this window, water has run down. Okay, same thing with this little guy. Make him not quite as long. Back here where this molding came down, water's going to run down. We're going to continue that theme down around that fender. Now, there's a body line here. Again, water's going to sit there. Over the years, things have been put against it, rubbed against it, so naturally the paint's going to be worn off. So we're going to put a little rust line in there. If you want to go heavier in some spots than others, that's great. Doesn't really matter. You can't really go wrong. As long as you follow kind of like a theme of where the water is going to go, where it's going to sit. If you need reference photos, internet's a great place, or just go to a junkyard. I spent a lot of time in my misspent youth in junkyards. Okay, we're going to get into that a little more down there. Okay. And this little rust down this door sill. Alright, now, say car got, I don't know, hit, bumped, something. We're going to make a little rust patch spot right here. Again, just dab it, and no particular rhyme or reason. Whatever little pattern you come up with. I try not to go too big, but sometimes, you get carried away. I feel like that old guy Bob that used to do the paintings, Little Happy Trees and whatnot. I'm doing Little Happy Rust spots. Go ahead and laugh if you want.
You need an afro for that.
Yeah, I do. I should have got one. Big old orange afro. So, yeah, right now I'm basically just giving this car character and personality, so that it could tell a story, so to speak. Alright, where that water has dripped down from that window hits this, so we're going to make that a little more rusty. Same thing back here, and then also the top of that fender, because it's a flatter surface and water is going to sit there, and the sun beating on it, and the whole 9 yards. So we're going to continue that little streak on down to the next body line. And we're going to run some rust along here. You can connect these if you want, doesn't matter. I'm not going to, because just trying to go with something here. Okay. Now we're going to go across this little body line here. And again, back to here. hit that, make it darker. As you can see, I'm not using my building technique to build up these areas. They don't really need to be. They're going to do fine all by themselves once we get going with these other colors. Alright. A little rust at the top of the wheel well here. Make sure you do the insides, this little lip. Nothing I hate more than seeing a rusted body, and that little wheel well's perfect. And even new cars get chips, cracks, rocks, debris. You know, imagine a car that's 50, 60 years old, how much damage it's going to have there. Paint chips and stuff. So, okay, we'll do a little patch right here. Just for grins and giggles. I'm going to make this one a little darker. I'm going to make all of those a little darker so they show up nice. Alright. Obviously your rockers are going to be all rusted up from sitting, water, you know, working its way down there constantly. So this is fairly easy to do. You can give it some character or not, doesn't really matter. I'll leave a couple little green spots just for give it some visual appeal. If you want to make a couple little runs coming down from there, that's great too. Okay, work our way back here. I've been doing this for a long time. Well, not a long time. About 9-10 years now, so. You know, don't try to be perfect your first attempts. You know, just keep working at it. Don't be afraid. Never be afraid to try something new. Okay.
Let's do one side and then I'll pause it. We'll finish the car. And we'll show what it looks like.
Alright.
So it doesn't make it so long.
Well, I'm sorry this takes a while, but Rome wasn't built in a day. Alright, and then we'll do some quick weathering on the door. Move on to the fender. Some of my builds you guys have seen have door art on them. I will lightly weather the vehicle and then add my door art. And then lightly weather over top of that. Mostly with teddy bear tan. It helps hide the decal line. Sometimes I'll take these paints with a thin brush that I'll show you guys here in a minute and go over it just to look like it's the door art's been worn through, weathered through, like it's been there a while. Yeah, be creative. Don't be afraid.